Good evening, salutations, man. So tonight's question is, which one is the better soap opera, General Hospital or Days of Our Lives? Now, I've been watching General Hospital since high school. Okay, that is my first. Well, that is my second soap opera that I started watching. That is my third soap opera that I started watching, but it's the soap opera I've been watching the longest. On the other hand, I've been watching Days of Our Lives for 2 years, and I'm going to be honest, 9 times out of 10, this stuff is actually really good. It is. Point blank, period. Their episodes generally do have a lot of hits, way more than misses. And if you've seen General Hospital for the past couple weeks, it's it's been doing a lot of missing. Okay, it's just it's been quite boring. So yes, what one? Which one is the better soap opera between the two? General Hospital or Days of Our Lives? I want to know which one is better, and I want to know why. Very curious about that. Let's do a quick roll call. Let's get the show started. Tonight, I'm only streaming for an hour and a half because I got to wake up at an ungodly time in the morning. So yes, Cherry Ice Cream is in the chat. Was good. Spotty Quake is in the chat. Yeah, of course. I knew he was going to say General Hospital. You've been watching it the longest. It makes sense. LaShanta's in the chat. How you doing tonight? Christopher is in the chat. How you doing, my friend? As you are coming in, make sure that you do hit the like button. It really does actually help out. It keeps me in the algorithm. It keeps more people. It recommends more people to sit there and watch my channel. So it really does actually work. Oh my God. And this is taking forever. Dolomedics is in the chat. Dolly, how you doing tonight? Queen in the South is always a blessing to see you as well. How are you doing? Now, Christopher says, Days of Our Lives. Okay. All right. Maybe a couple years ago, I might have, because I was so much of a hardcore General Hospital fan. If anyone would have said something different as a General Hospital, I'd be like, whoa, hey, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? But since I'm watching all four soap operas, and I don't have the biased attitude that I used to have, Dolly says, so Christopher says Days. Dolly says Days. My answer is always Days. Even if I haven't watched Days, the answer is yes. Dolly says, so Christopher says Days. Mr. River. Okay. Well, all we got to sit there outside Queen's doing. This out. Krista says GH Days is all over the place with changing characters, actors, stories don't have depth. So you are a Days, so you are a General Hospital. So you're voting General Hospital. Okay. LaShanta says Adam or her Josh, he's creepy Charlotte zone. What the hell's my damn drink at? Entire Ice Cream says General Hospital. Some very interesting answers here. I know I did this before. I have to sit there and find it, and I'll probably put this as like maybe a part two. But I'm very curious though. Queen says GH and then Days. It's very hard for me to sit there and answer that question. It's very hard for me to sit there and answer that question. Now, Krista says, I feel Days is too plot driven. Oh yeah, exactly. Dolly, I call him Pinky in the Brain at this point. I call him Pinky in the Brain. Think about GH. GH has been just bad this week. It's been bad. It's been boring. Nothing's really been going on. I didn't give a damn about this episode. Did anyone actually like today's episode of General Hospital? Albert Senior's in the chat. Let's everyone say what's up to my dad. My dad right now is loving The Bold and the Beautiful. He is loving it. He is a fan of The Bold and the Beautiful. The shot, yeah, there. Like I said, Pinky in the Brain. Let's everyone say what's up to Albert Senior. That is not me. I'm right here. That's my dad. Oh, you actually have a picture of yourself. Okay. Mr. Bear. What's good, Mr. Bear? Ambassador Sam. The GOAT. The GOAT. The effing GOAT. Cherry ice cream, not really what. And Laura B's in the chat. What's good, Laura B? I do actually have to send him a link. I was supposed to send him a link. I think he can actually use my Paramount. No, I'll send. I'll send it to him tonight. He can use my Paramount Plus streaming service, so he can catch up on he can watch Bold and the Beautiful. The only the iron is I always feel like GH is more plot driven. I don't feel like they lean into the relationship like Days. Yep. Blackmon's in the chat. Laura B is in the chat. Blackmon, the GQ. That's right. My father is in the chat. Albert Sr. Thank you, Gemini. Thank you. Trust me, I'm still before the new year. Yeah, I am still shocked by that. Oh, of course, Dad. Yeah, you know I got you. I didn't get a chance to do it though. I didn't get a chance to do it. That's the only reason why. And Rachel Williams, this is a new person in the chat. Rachel says I like GH because storylines are more complex. I'm not saying every episode is 10 out of 10. I'm saying overall I'm more interested by its whole interwoven stories. Okay. Let's everyone say what's up to Rachel. Because I don't think that I do. I do. You're right. I think I'm gonna get a cake next week. I'm gonna get a cake next week. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. I'm going to get something. Maybe I'll get it tomorrow. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'll celebrate tomorrow. Hmm. Yeah, you're right. I will celebrate that tomorrow. I'm still in shock. Yes, let's welcome Rachel. Ron B says you can tell Michael's still pissed with Nina and Charlotte end up trapping herself. You think so? Oh yeah, no, he's definitely pissed. That's right. That's how we do it. That's how we do it. Every time we get a new person in, we welcome them in. We try not to sit there and have the crazy chaos in the chat. Nicole, how you doing tonight? Lakeisha, how you doing tonight? Thank you for joining. Yes, we have 105. Gemini says cake and ice cream and wine for Albert. Yes, we're gonna do it up. We're gonna do it up. We're gonna actually have a good time. Um, Mr. Bear says Rich better find Carter before exactly because my dude is super happy. Yeah, she spent all that chick's money. Well, now she just have to start back from that's just how it is sometimes. You gotta start back from the bottom. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, I think I'll do something tomorrow. I think I'll do something tomorrow. That's a milestone. That's an effing milestone. I think about that. Like said, this episode I feel like for two bums that were in it. Um, all right. Jackie P's in the chat. What's good? What's good, Jackie P? He looks like his yeah. That's what happened. That's what happens when your parents put that much pressure on you. Gemini says so that explains why Sasha didn't move. She can't afford. Ah, who his parents? I feel bad. Rachel says, you know what? I also think GH has better lighting and better sets. David's stay in the mansion, the Forresters stay at the office, and Steffi's at the house. Mr. Bear, Finn's son got an age jump. I didn't even notice that. Here's the thing, Spider Quick. This whole episode, who you can. Here's the thing, Spider Quick. You can say the same thing about Jocelyn and Dex. You can say the same thing about Jocelyn and Dex. They were just as useless. They were all useless, Spider Quake. This episode was not good. I love how you sit there and the first thing, yeah, that's what I said. I was like, Spider Quake, we're not gonna do this tonight. We're not gonna do this tonight. If it's gonna sit there and be the Trina and Spencer bashing thing, we're not gonna do this tonight. We're not doing that. So that's why I erased your comment in the comment section. So we're not gonna do this tonight. Because if that's the case, then it's you're just gonna sit there and get timed out for tonight. So we're not doing that. He was a baby. I didn't even realize that. Rachel says the purpose wasn't to highlight Jocelyn Dex. I think it was to build up Adam's thing. I think. Lorby, I guess. Lorby says it was a filler. It was an episode that was a fluff. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said, Jimmy. I was like, we not doing this tonight. Yeah, I like the costume. It's a cool costume. No, actually, to tell you the truth, I even like Spencer's costume. He was doing a whole Teen Wolf. He was doing a whole Teen Wolf thing. All right, Spider Quake. Like I said, if you're not listening to me, listen to me now. You can chill out with the Trina bashing. I don't care if you talk about something else. Rachel says, I mean, when you're in for 60 years, that's gonna be fluff. But but that's the thing, though. We're not used to that. We're used to these episodes hitting and slapping. This is the reason why I sit there and say I've been watching General Hospital for a long time. Okay, I've been watching since high school. So when I say that General Hospital isn't hitting, it's not as good as it could be. That's literally what I mean. I don't know. Here's the thing. Days of Our Lives. Rachel said I'd agree that the high action episodes are better. Yeah, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Rachel. When I first started watching soap operas, it was good, Justin. When I first started watching soap operas, it was One Life to Live. And One Life to Live wasn't really always like action pack or anything like that, but it has some good drama. It has some good drama in it. So I was with it. I don't think that every episode, even with General Hospital, needs to be action, high teen, or whatever. But I mean, come on, seriously? Days messed up this week, but that's because they did like a special. The episode today was good, and I think the episode yesterday was actually good as well. General Hospital, the last two episodes have been boring. Duan, what's good, Duan? Lashanta said Dr. Roy pathetically will get them back. Yo, Gabby is Gabby's a real piece of work. Justin says, "Wow, Willow as yeah, Princess Leia, yes." Mr. Bear says, "Wanting to Live was exciting in the '80s." I can imagine. I know it was good in the night when I started watching it in 1998. It was good. Okay, so I can only imagine how. I mean, Mr. Bear, most of those shows, even General Hospital, used to be really good back in the day. Billy says, I do have one gripe about Days. I hate the history right of Sammy and Nicole. They did that. I don't know. Rachel says, I have a question. I don't watch Days. It is explicit. No, not really. Not really, Rachel. They really didn't. They didn't really bump it up that much. There was times they'll use curse words here and there, but it's not like they don't use like the hard F words and stuff like that. The most they've actually used was the S word. But it's that's that's one thing they said they weren't going to change. They weren't going to sit there and make it like super explicit or explicit really at all. No. What's good, Double C? Yuan says, I really don't get why everyone thought Riz didn't care for Eric. Yeah, I didn't get that either. I will say this much though, Rachel. The love scenes that they have, they didn't change them, right? The same stuff that they do on TV, they did in on the Peacock. The only difference is they had a threesome. That was it. And I don't think they would actually did that if it was on network television. Ron B said General Hospital was good with Luke and Laura. Yeah. Mr. Bear said General Hospital ruled daytime with Luke and Laura back then. Exactly back then. Billy says Eric made it seem like Sammy somehow ruined EJ and Nicole's relationship after Nicole miscarried, but Nicole stole Sammy's baby and watched her grieve. She was the aggressor. Wow. Double C says Soaps didn't do it for me today, but glad to see the kids on GH. Yeah, General Hospital has been working all this week. I'm gonna be honest. It really has not been working, and it's unfortunate. While Days has actually been working. See, that's my whole thing. If somebody was to sit there and ask me which one is your favorite show, it'd be weird to say because my heart wants to say General Hospital, but the episodes have not really been good. Days have actually had better episodes. Does anyone? I mean, seriously. Oh, what else my damn notes said? Does anyone actually give a damn about Felicia's patient advocacy? Jonathan, what's good? Jonathan, you heard the news, right? You heard the news? I'm gonna sit there and see what news you think I'm talking about. Or say it. Oh, I will. I will, Rachel. Rachel said no, but we know Felicia's going to end up solving crimes at the hospital. That would be see that would be interesting. Yes, that would be interesting, and I'll be behind that story. Double C says, and we in November sweeps, and GH hasn't brung it. I don't think they actually. I don't think they actually practice in sweeps anymore. So I want to know if you know what the news is, Jonathan, before I sit there and announce it. That could be just Felicia hasn't been excited since Briscoe left. Exactly. Dolly says Days have finally leaned into what works for them with their current budget. It's just watching a crazy small town, but it turns but it turns out to 11. Exactly. There we go. Yep, that was it. That was it. That's exactly it. Nicole says Days is better than GH in my opinion. Yeah, Jonathan, I got the news like maybe 20, 30 minutes before I start the live stream tonight. Lord B says, as it stands now, not jazzed about Felicia Chop, but I hope that they attach some sort of. I hope they do as well. I hope they do as well. And Johnson says, now I'm officially done with. See, I am too. I am as well. Spider Quick says the preview scene promised. I hope so, Spider Quick. I do. I really do, because it's like I feel like GH needs a win. By the way, Lionheart was not really great today. Cherry Ice Cream says it's time for them to show who Pikeman is. Yeah, they. Yes, yes. Lashanta says if Nina's tired of Michael, she can always tell it. I'm with that. I'm with it. Because honestly, to tell you the truth, I was thinking the same thing. I was like, "Boo, just throw yourself when at the course at the mercy of the course and see what happens." I hope it will be Rachel. Rachel says I feel like B&B does do a good job. There's also like 19 minutes with less than 10 characters and simple storylines, so that has to be taken into account in terms of quality. That's very true. That's actually very true. I hope his Alcazar, Rachel. And yeah, especially about um B&B. But I used to watch a show called Poor Charles, and he also had the same type constraints too, so I get it. Johnson says Gabby and Steffi were just cruel and selfish today. See, that's why, Jonathan, this is why I can't root for I can't root for Gabby, because Gabby just gives no F's. Um, she is just a selfish, greedy POS. And I have to tell you, Stefan is no better because he allows that. When what's his name? Eli was talking about what Gabby did to Lonnie as far as making her beg on her knees to sit there and try to get something. I can't remember what it was, but he was like, you had Lonnie on the ground on her knees begging for something. And I'm like, that's the definition of a low life. That's literally what Gabby is at this point. Rachel says, is Blaze connected to Alcazar somehow? I don't know. It'd be cool if it was. CW says CW will have, and okay. Oh, so you'll watch it. Okay. Jackie B says GH needs love stories with a danger element for the characters. They could have had it with Sasha and Cody if they let them go on the run. See, that would have been cool. I don't think that they have the budget, but that'd be cool if they did. That'd be cool if they did. Lashanta says Stefan let Gabby run his mom out of town. It's yes. Yes, exactly. That's very true, Laura B. They can actually refile charges later on. You are 100% correct about that. Billy says Gabby not giving a damn used to be endearing because deep down you knew she did everything for love. Now she lost those layers. Yeah. Duane says people may get their wish about B&B because an hour become B&B becoming an hour. What? Duane, where'd you hear this? Whoa, 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 whoa. Where'd you hear this? Duane says people may get their wish about B&B becoming an hour like other soaps. Double C says I feel sorry for Lee. He's the biggest simp of all times. I mean, Gabby made a fool out of him twice. Yeah, but here's the thing, Double C. This is what happens when you only had two girlfriends in your life. When you only went out with two women in your entire life, yeah. Double C said Gabby made, Lonnie begged to have Stefan's heart for, yeah. That's what kind of person that Gabby is. That's why I understand why Kyrie's is so pissed off at her, because I was like, wow, this chick is like garbage incarnate. Rachel says, isn't B&B number one across the world? It is just show another. Yes, it is, Rachel. Actually, I think both of them are. No, I think that one is. Yeah, because it's also in Dubai, Rachel. That's very true. It's in Dubai, which is also the reason why it doesn't have any LGBT couples, because it airs in Dubai. I wonder where we got the likes. Oh, I put that up. Sit down, John. Oh, yes. Johnson says Lonnie begged for Stefan's heart for Julie. Yes, had her on her knees. That's the kind of person that she is. That's the kind of woman she is. Anthony says, "How you, buddy? Doing nice." Let me go to your channel. Oh, you are killing it, my friend. Nice, 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 nice. I just subbed to your channel, Anthony. I just subbed to your channel. Thank you, Lord B. Don't forget to please hit the like button, because it really does actually help. Thank you, Lord B. Thank you so much. Where is it? Okay, so we have 14 likes. We got 34 people in the chat. So if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you do hit the like button. It really does help. Now, Lakeisha said, and Julie was pretty racist towards Gabby. Julie also wasn't a fan of Gabby because of Nick's. Oh, yeah, I did hear about that, Lakeisha. Julie called Gabby something. I don't want to sit there and repeat it, but she did sit there and say something about that. Lakeisha said, you got to know some history to know why Gabby became the way she is now. I mean, I get that, but unfortunately, it's one of those things where it's like, even if we didn't know the history, it doesn't change anything. You know, it's like knowing how somebody became a bad person doesn't make me sympathize with them. Nope, it was not. It was not Spikequake, and it wasn't even so much. It was like a racist stereotype. I'll sit there and say that. Billy says, well, in Gabby's defense, with the hard thing, Stefan had literally just died, and all the people who trashed her were begging her to give her husband her heart to a woman who hated her. Okay, here we go. There we go. Okay, so he literally just died, and they were dogpiling her. There we go. Dolly said, yeah, Eli had to check Julie about all the low-key racist stuff she would say to Gabby, the snide senorita, and comments were gross. Yeah, and she called her Chica. She would sit there and say, okay, Chica, and it was like when I heard about that, I was like, wow, that's yeah, Spike Quick, the stuff that Dolly was Smith is saying is what she would sit there and say. Lakeisha, as horrible as Julie was to Gabby, she didn't deserve his heart. Hmm. All right, that could be a little bit different then. Okay, that could, today's episode she was terrible. Okay, we can all sit there and agree that she was terrible to him. Exactly, Lashanta. Duan says maybe I should pay for the Tubi membership to watch Days. Yo, Days is good. Yes, right quick. Yes, she's Spanish. Yes. Lakeisha not defending Gabby, but explain why she became vicious Gabby. I understand it in certain. Yes, no, I get that. I get that. Thank you, Lakeisha. I didn't like what she was doing this past week, this past couple of weeks, but Dolly said Doug was the only one to get through to Gabby because she was kind. And yes, so I did put in the pin comment, if you are not a member, make sure that you join. We're at 105. Try to get to 110. It's November. So I want to sit there and try to hit at least 10 members this month. I do feel like we can do it. I feel like we can do it. I feel it. I feel we can do it. We're at 105. Really 104 because Spider Quake got membership twice. But why is Brady a jerk, Lashanta? Billy says, I do not. I do like the fact that Gabby and Joey used. If you those two would throw hands. Whoa, are you serious? Yeah, it's terrible. And then and then Lakeisha, then she's all talking about, oh well, you kind of remind me of my daughter and stuff like that. I was like, boo, you have your daughter halfway across the world, and you don't seem like you care because you're too busy sitting there scheming with your man. Is it? There we go. Yes. So like I said, in the pin comment, if you want to become a member, make sure you hit the pin comment and you can join. Be a lot of fun. We're at 105. I'm gonna try to hit 10 this month. I feel we can hit 10. Duan says, so Albert, are you still Team Eric? And if so, why? Because he's dying. He wants to sit there and go out on a blaze of glory. And it's tough when you have a passion for something, you can no longer do it, and you're good at it. So I feel for him. I feel for him, Duan. It's the fashion is more than just fashion. It's a way to sit there and express himself, and he's been doing it for years, making a beautiful career out of that. And suddenly, you can't express yourself in a way that you are used to expressing yourself. So yes, I totally do understand that. Dolly said this sucks. I feel like a Gabby defense attorney. No, but I get it, Dolly, because you are providing some much needed background. I've only been watching the show for 2 years. Jackie B says, so all those were slurs. I actually thought they were. No, they're slurs. They're slurs. Rachel said that's true. It's symbiotic of his meaning and purpose. Yes. So yeah, Rachel. That's why I said like that's why I sympathize with him. That's why I'm Team Eric. Darby, the one and only. Jackie B says, "Damn, Jay Boomer moment. I can't keep up." Lashanta's Abbott, the storyline was horrible because I said if Ridge knew, he would. Yes. Yeah, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree with that. Dolly says so. Ari always gets to stay with Sunny. That's why she's in New Zealand. Yeah, but I mean, it's just in general, Dolly. It's like she doesn't really care. I just I don't. I feel Dolly. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like Rachel's over there, so she has more time to sit there and plot and scheme with Stefan. Because let's be honest, if she has to sit there and take care of Rachel, she wouldn't be able to dedicate half the amount of time that she's doing right now. Because at some point she would have to sit there and spend time with her daughter. And if apparently if you're Gabby, you have to choose between one or two. Um, you have to choose between scheming with Stefan or taking care of your daughter. I feel like she's gonna um go with Stefan. Double C says they better not have Gabby with a brain tumor or possessed by the devil. That's true, Duan. He did. But sometimes it's like, come on, let's give the old man a win. Rachel said, here's the difference that I observed. Eric wanted to do this, wanted to do his best, but Rich wanted to do his own better. Then LaShanta says Cyrus makes his rounds. When will he get to Sunny? Oh, that'll be good. Hopefully we'll get to see that confrontation soon. Hopefully we'll get to sit there and see that confrontation soon. That's what I'm wanting. That's what I am wanting. I am wanting that confrontation. Um, I feel like I didn't even have half of this. Now, Darby says everyone has people in their past who did them wrong terribly, but that doesn't give Gabby a license to act terrible to other people who's mean to her no wrong in the future. I get that. Nope, Lakeisha, they're still together. And no, Darby does have a point. And I know this sounds kind of cruel, but I'm going to sit there and say this anyway. The world doesn't owe you understanding, okay? Just because you had a very terrible life, that doesn't give you a license to sit there and screw over other people just because. The one and only Nathaniel Gray. Let's say what's up to Nathaniel. And what in the hell is that picture? It's like, wait. Everyone's seeing this picture? Like, what is that picture? Rachel says, I need to know what Sonny is pushing through the harbor. I mean, it can't be 100% knockoff purses and coffee. Somebody was sitting there saying that because I was wondering about that. I said that Sonny transports weapons, and somebody said that he doesn't do that. He asked her for a job to get her to talk to him. It was a temperature check. Nathaniel says before he became Dax. Are you serious? That picture was before he became Dex. Or, wow. Johnson says, I remember Gabby putting a pacemaker on Stefan's old heart before it was donated to Julie and had an app where she could make it explode if and when she was ready to set it off when Lonnie exposed her. Oh, yes, I heard about that. That's what I was like, yo, she is. Hmm. Exactly, Lashanta. That's very true. Lashanta says Nina think because she was in a coma for 20 years, everyone owes her something. And yes, that's true. The world does not owe you understanding. Ron says if they write a story where Eric gets cured, he probably learned that he lost. Nope, I think it's the end of him now, personally. The thing says, yep, that's Evan before he left Kansas, basically before the glow up. Oh, he looks super happy. Johnson says, I can see if EJ would definitely use Gabby's upcoming situation to blackmail her and Stefan. He doesn't do weapons. It could be diamonds, maybe. I'm gonna sit there and ask. I'm gonna ask my quote unquote fake Siri, what does Sunny actually transport? Let's see. What does Sunny Corinthos transport on General Hospital? W says that's pre-Josh. Pre-Josh. That's pre-Josh Albert. Doesn't actually tell me. Rachel says I wonder if Cyrus is going to visit Selena Wood to see. Listen, Selena will sit there and do his best for her. So, coffee. And W also says coffee. So WC says coffee, and Cherry Ice Cream also says coffee. And Lashanta says coffee. Lana says coffee. Johnson says in Hollywood is still annoying today with her pathetic, unrealistic. Yo, Jonathan, I'm gonna sit there and say this again. Whoever thought it was a good idea to put Holly on the show needs to be fired. Like they need to be fired point blank. Period. Lakeisha, it's insane that Mimi and Philip Child hasn't made it today's canvas yet. And where is Parker? Wait, Philip actually has a child? Philip Kiriakis. Okay, so Lakeisha, you need to tell me that Philip Kiriakis has a son? The hell? He's never once talked about his son. Philip Kiriakis have a son. I need to know this, days, my days fans. Darby says I thought Sonny did gambling and coffee. Yeah, well, chat. Let me know if Philip Kiriakis has a son. Billy says they should just let Gabby go missing. We could have a mystery about who took her. Suspects would easily be Megan and Vivian, and any excuse for those crazy queens to come. Yes, and I'm with that. I like Vivian and I like Megan too. Josh says Philip and Mimi does have a child, but he was put up for adoption. Wow. Yeah, and thank you, Dolly. Thank you, Jonathan. Oh wow. He never once talked about his child. Not once. Um, and granted, I've been watching it for like, let's sit there and say 2 years. Yeah, it was actually good, Lashanta. It was good. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about GH. GH has good moments, right? They have good moments. They're just not hitting like they used to. Uh, I guess the only person I can think of, Lashanta, is Rafe. But besides Rafe, yeah, no one, no one, no one actually missed her. Darby says he was given up for adoption. Where was Kate when this happened? Oh, John says his name is Tyler. Okay. Oh wow. Thank you, Lakeisha. I didn't know that. John says I said I wouldn't be surprised if one episode of GH the writers revealed Sonny just transported coffee. I always wonder what he actually did. I always wonder what he did. Lakeisha said I don't know why they gave up the child for adoption as much money they have. What is that just I didn't even know he actually had a child. Damn, and he never bothered to sit there and try to look for that child or anything. He's just like, oh, I'm giving it up for adoption. That's it. Toby says Stefan needs to be miserable. Yeah, I agree. They're both terrible. Toby says Stephanie and Rachel would. Oh yeah, I forgot Rachel. Hmm. Okay, yeah, I guess so. And Rafe. So yeah, so you got three. Okay, so, all right, so you got three people. Lashanta says Sammy come through. Come through what? You mean like in the episode? think they aged her too fast. I don't understand what the hell. I don't understand why the hell she's on the show in general. Because he's not making the show better. Every scene with her is just horrible. We don't typically know someone in real life with that name. That's very true. General Hospital had a rape at one point. Dave's obviously, well, Dave's. I don't think YNR or B&B actually had rape. Oh, that's true. Okay, you got a point. Those two would definitely miss it, Dolly. Oh, you wanted to come back. Okay, let's have to. Johnny's too naive. I mean, this chick is 16 years old. I don't understand why. I don't understand why the hell they put this chick on the show. You really, Lakeisha. Dr. B says, why do these names use the same? Why do these soaps use the same name, same character names? Yes, that's very true. Double C. Poor Charles also had a rape. Yes, Poor Charles had a rape. General Hospital had a rape at one point. Johnson says, why not did have a rape? A lawyer named Rafe. Oh, okay. Darby said, did anyone care to see the Christina? You know, someone named Rafe. Raphael, you know, Rafe. Okay, that's true. No, I did not. I did, yeah. Darby said, did anyone care to see the Christina episode Why Not today, or you didn't care about it like me today? Yeah, I didn't care about it. Hell, I actually thought you after a while I had to fast forward through it because it was so stupid. I didn't care about her. I didn't care about Nina's big ass. I didn't care about any of it. And you know my whole thing also? I really do sit there and I look at it, I was like, why did they need to even show that episode? Why why make an episode dedicated to a character that we barely see? Does anyone actually like? I hope so at some point, Dolly. I can't do this Gwen Teresa crap. Johnson said GH has so many kids today. Yeah, I it was so dumb. She was a human Cromwell? Dolly says don't forget about Michael and Carly's souls love those names. Now Laura B says I liked it because it caught me up. See, that's how I was trying to look at it in the beginning, Laura B. Like, okay, maybe I'll sit there and watch some of the flashbacks so it'll kind of catch me up. But then after a while, I just didn't care. You know, we don't barely see we barely see Christina in general. No, we knew what you meant. We knew what you meant. Oh, Joanna says why not had a rave as Adam's lawyer. Was that the dude? Okay, Duan, was that the dude that Adam seduced? Was that the dude that Adam seduced? Duan. I heard he seduced somebody, so this way he can get out of a crime or something like that. That was just because the actress Laura Bell. No, yeah, that, and I got that. I got that double C. I was like, yeah, they only made this episode. They only made this episode literally because Brad, because she's Brad Bell's daughter. Dolly says GH gets credit for one thing, at least all the kids aren't in boarding school. Yeah, I found out that on Days, they had a character named Carly. They don't have any other Carlys till now. As far as Carly's name is concerned, there's only one Carly. There's two Avas, there's two Finns, um, there's two Ninas, there's two Vic. Okay, well, at one point there was three Victors. Um, there's two Jacks. There's Jack Devereaux on days, and you know Jack Abbott on Y&R. Well, says he tried to seduce him, and then that Adam left and left that because of Duran says he tried to seduce him, and then that Adam left because of that. Oh, okay. I don't remember that's how that was. So, here's the thing. Maybe because I got this from DC, but DC was like Adam had to sit there and seduce someone to try to get out of the situation. Dolly says, as the world turns, had a huge popular Carly GH Ava used. Oh, okay, yes. Okay. Yeah, I remember that. I remember the actress Ava used to sit there and play a Carly character. And Johnson says multiple soaps has Adams. Yeah, throughout the time, yeah. Same thing with Victor. I know technically right now in the universe there's only one Victor, but there used to be three. Double says I really wanted Sheila and Lauren come face. Yeah, they missed that opportunity once again. This is the second time that Lauren was in town and they did not cross paths. Dolly says the actor who played that Adam was against his character playing. Oh, Dolly says the actor who played that Adam was against his character playing bisexual and quit. Hmm. Interesting. 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 Darby says, I wish I was Brad Bell so I could fire all my kids and fix all the CBS soaps at the same time. Andrea, oh, I really like it. Thank you. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea, thank you. I appreciate that. Hope you had a lovely day. I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, I guess I understand. Like some people just aren't comfortable with certain scenes. Johnson says, "I wish I was the head writer for GH." Oh, you'll make that show so dope. Lashanta says, "So Charlie's gonna kiss Esther like he wasn't with Pamela." Yeah, well, they weren't. Okay, that's still kind of. You know what? In some ways, they're not married, right? They're not married, and she did hang up the phone on him. That's not an excuse to cheat, but I'm just saying. Dude was in the middle of something talking to her, and he invited her to this fashion thing, and she just hung up the phone on him. I'm like, okay, all right, you want to sit there and play like that? You want to sit there and be hanging up phones on me? Nah, I ain't cool with that. I ain't cool with that at all. Maybe lobby, maybe, maybe. Lobby says she regretted making. Jesus Christ. She regretted making lemon bars, I guess. Lashanta says, Albert, did you hear little Kim through her pin? What? Did you hear little Kim? No, I did not. Wow. I didn't think that, listen, I didn't think that Lil Kim actually still performed. Like seriously, I didn't think that she actually still performed. I'm surprised by that. Billy says Pam had been sneaking off to Port Charles and calling herself Heather. That woman ain't loyal. Hmm. Wasn't Pam sick? That's a good question. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Jack Abbott has entered the room. One and only Mrs. Jack Abbott. Darby says, I, I wish I was sand on a Brazilian nude beach in my next lifetime, but it's not going to happen. Yeah, but then you would have to get worried about, being washed up on tides, stuff like that. Well, just when you're here, you're on time. Except for that time that you miss seeing Evan. But other than that, LaShant, yep, and Rachel says hi, Jess. Debbie says Lil Kim is really old. That's why I was surprised. I was like, it's a little weird too, Darby, for her to be snitching throwing panties at like, was she like 50 or something, 60? LaShanta says, yep, the rapper, everyone else songs. Yeah, I'm very surprised by that. Nadoli says, presenting our queen and president of Team Nina Club, Jess. Yes, Jess is definitely in the Nina Club. Ain't that right, Jess? Darby says, isn't that Olive Garden, Albert? Dolly ain't joking. He's being dead ass serious. He's not joking. Don't say that. Isn't that the Olive Garden? I really do love the Olive Garden now. I've been there so long. Oh, oh, come on, Jess. Just come over to the dark side. You'll be fine. Okay. Melly Mel, my heart queen, is in the chat. How you doing? Billy says I'm just teasing. I love joking around with Jess. He ain't teasing. He being dead ass serious. He wasn't teasing. He was being serious. Here's the thing, Mel. I actually finished watching that movie, Blood and Honey. I wouldn't recommend anyone watch that. I mean, I'll watch the second one because I watched the first one, but I wouldn't recommend anyone watch the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie. Rachel said, "What's oh Rachel?" She's talking about the Young and Restless. They play. They always are a day ahead with the Young and the Restless. So she already watched tomorrow's episode that didn't air yet. Rachel, what are your soap operas that you watch? Because I know I want to make sure that I get it right, Rachel. What's the soap operas that you watch? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It was That's why Craig says, "Hi, my favorite Queen Mel. How are you?" Rachel says, "YNR, BNB, and GH." Okay. Thank you, Darby. Thank you. Yes, make sure that as you're coming in, you do hit the like button. It really does actually help. Just said GSA was strictly for the kids. Yeah, it was trash. It wasn't good. But now, Jess, you have yeah, Nicole. No, I love the Olive Garden. I the Olive Garden and IHOP. I haven't been to an IHOP in so effing long. Jess, let's go to IHOP. Um, yeah, where are we with the likes? Okay, we're at 24. We got 28 people watching. So if you are enjoying the stream, make sure you do hit the like button. Really does actually help. Seriously, it really does. Zachary says, I actually like Nina with Valentine and Charlotte, but she doesn't get to keep Sunny. Still not over the Nixon 4-ish. Darby says, Adam is potential Spinelli. LaShanta says Michael needs to get that hotel while he's playing. She just says over here on Team Carly. She really means Team Nina. She's just playing. She means Team Nina. Potential weirdo. But yes, just now you actually have access to watch Peacock. So you can watch Days of Our Lives when you want. I DM'd you. So whenever you get a chance, open your DMs so you can sit there and see it. Just Mel says, you did. You did. You actually said it. You did say it, Mel. I was watching it today and I thought about you. It's very true. Rachel says Nina can't get the MetroCard back to Carly because Carly can't accept Laura's gift for financial legal reasons. Correct. I thought about that too, but I don't know, Rachel. You know, it's actually a really good question. It's actually a it's actually a really good question. Rachel says Nina can't give the MetroCard back to Carly because Carly can't accept Laura's gifts for financial legal reasons. Lionheart didn't GH remind you of the Hallmark movie. Yes. Well, I never actually seen it, but so I can't actually say that. I just know it wasn't good. Just that I don't know if I can add another show right now. No, just whenever you want to sit there and watch it later on, just it's there. So you don't have to check it out now, but if you get bored, you want to sit there and decide something different, you know, you have it. Gwen, Gwen, Guinevere. It's been a hot minute. How have you been? I turned around, I looked, I was like, oh I was like, here's a lady I haven't seen in a hot minute. Yep. I'm like, yo, like, what do you plan on doing with those keys? You've been holding those things for like 2 days. That's exactly what I was going to say. I was like, yo, I was like, we haven't seen you forever. I'm hanging in there. Well, it's good to see you again, Gwen. Always, it's seriously, it's a pleasure to see you again. Rachel says Charlotte has got me pretty creeped out. Yeah, like Children of the Corn. And Mel says, hey, Jessica. Quick says Adam looked like he sells. Yeah, but see, yeah, and it's funny, Jess, because I was meant to talk about that earlier. I was like, you know, his parents are really messing this kid up to the point where, yeah, he's tripping over a 92. He's literally wilding out over a 92 because of his parents. Because his parents are literally messing him up that much. That's pretty bad. Like even Johnson was like, whoa, we got a 92 and you tripping? Like, are you serious? Lionheart said Josh thinks she's grown. She can't see that her study partner is not all there in the head. Same with Dex, two airheads. Two goddamn airheads is what Lionheart said. Just that there's no difference between a 92 and a 95. Yes, there is. A 92 is not a 95. The difference between those two is 3 points. Okay? And his parents would sit there and look at that and be like, yo, there's a 3 point difference. Yeah, but it's not it's still 3 points away though. Have a good night, Dolly. Thank you for joining. Ronnie Ron. I mean it's an A, but it's you know. Mel says I hate Steph and Gabby with a purple passion. They do it all they do is lay in bed, talk about scheming. Yeah, exactly. They're pinky in the brain. That's right, Mel. I hate them with a purple passion. Uh I love it, Mel. I love it. Just said I realized half the kids. Yeah, I didn't realize that was Scout. Even though her name is her first name Emily? Because they always call her Scout, and I always found it to be such a stupid name. Darby says, I mean, my parents would kill me for a 92. My parents would kill for a 92 for me in my grades. Yeah, I mean, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you got normal parents, you know. Lionheart said the worst and best costume for today's episode. Best was Spencer and worst was Charlotte. Yeah, I actually did like Spencer's outfit. That was classic '80s Teen Wolf. I was with it. And you know how I feel about Spencer, so Darby says, "What's your favorite color? What's your favorite color, Melanie?" Darby said, "Yeah, her name is Emily. Scout is her middle name." Yeah, I just I don't know. Lashanta said this is the second time Adam watched Leave with that. Yeah, he was. Oh my goodness, he was pissed. My dude was pissed. Jesse, yeah, Spence had the best, and Trina and Josh costume looked the best. He had some good outfits. Ron Sabat, when you and even we, the viewers, would. But Ron, hold on. Johnson says, "Don't diminish Pinky in the Brain." I can't help it. I can't. But you're right about that, Jonathan. Ron says, Albert, when you and even we, the viewers, would petition Brad Bell to write a pregnancy storyline for Sheila and Deacon regarding. Oh my goodness, Ron. Run. Don't ever change. And just we're actually at a good place. Let's not. It was in a dark place earlier, so we're in a dark place earlier. So let's not rouse by the quick up. We'll have to sit there and time them out. Have a good night, Nicole. Thank you for joining. Now, Spider Quick says Wally was wrong bragging to James. I felt bad. I'm like, Nina, go take a nephew James on to a private. Yes. But that's the thing, Spider Quick. That's what I think somebody said something. One of the adults was like, it's good to be humble and stuff. Mel said I was trying to hold back tears on Eric and Nicole's having their heart to heart conversations, but it's written in the stars that Eric and Nicole don't love AJ and Sloan. Yeah, they're Jesus Christ, I can't stand those characters. Because honestly, to tell you, both Eric and Nicole are garbage. They're disloyal. They're ungrateful to their partners, and it annoys the living f out of me. I mean, I know you love those characters, so you do you. But even Marlena was like, you're not being fair. You're not being fair to Sloan. Sloan is doing everything she can to sit there and get him a child, and this dude is sitting there at a park bench like a damn bum, um, upset that Nicole's getting married. Like, are you kidding me? Debbie says, I mean, don't you ever get tired of seeing or using purple hearts in your life? Okay, what's your second favorite color? If purple is outlawed tomorrow, that's a good question, Mel. That's a good question. LaShanta says Eric and Nicole will not stay together. No, they won't. They'll ruin other people's lives, and then when they get bored, then they'll get back together. That's what they do, LaShanta. They ruin other people's lives. They wreck other people's homes. Then they go back to each other until they realize that they're not compatible and start the cycle over again. Just would have been cool to see Violet because she's never around kids. Lakeisha said this obsession with Trina is weird. Ron says, I'm assuming Lakeisha, Danny Bear, and I will have to petition Brad Bell to write Sheila storyline. Oh my God, Ron. You know what? Y'all should do that. Y'all should do that. I'm gonna cheer y'all on. Y'all should do that. Ron, I'm totally behind it. I mean, I'm not gonna do it. But if y'all want to do it, then you know, please do it, Ron. Please do it. Big Nate, how are the soaps? 2 out of 4 were good. 2 out of 4 was good. Days of Our Lives was good, and Born the Beautiful was good. General Hospital sucked, and Young and the Restless sucked, but not as much as General Hospital. Though. Mel says, I got that Sloan is trying to give Eric a baby, but it's wrong that Sloan is keeping the disgusting. Well, yes, that's true. That's true. I did forget about that. Darby says Albert, a lawyer from the Bums Union, called threatening to sue you for calling Eric Brady a bum because they feel you're insulting him. Oh no, I was insulting him before when I was calling him a himbo. When I was calling him a himbo and I was calling him a slur, um, that was me insulting him. Like I said, they love to wreck other people's homes. They love to wreck other people's homes, and then eventually they'll get back together, and then they realize that they're two totally different type of people, and their breakup. Then they're, you know, I guess in a way it's like rinse and repeat. Like he said, R.I.P. to William Bell. The the compelling storyline died with him. Sadly, Brad Bell sucks as a writer. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know, Lakeisha. I mean, Y&R can actually hit sometimes. Oddly, they can actually do good. And like I said, Lakeisha, when the Young and the Restless is actually better than General Hospital, they're doing something wrong. Okay? They're doing something wrong. Point blank period. They're doing something wrong. Well, to be fair, it's probably quite their kids, you know? I'm not sitting there saying it's right. I'm just not saying they're kids. So you have to keep that in mind too. Like he said, well, Eric didn't want Sloane, no way. So why is he with her? Exactly. Darby said they also whine about it too much to everyone's regard. Yeah, 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 I agree with that. I agree with that, Darby. Rachel says I would like more depth and characterization on some characters on B&B like Carter and Donnet. Yeah, I would love that. I would love that. He also says, to be fair, Eric and Nicole, the reason their marriage, to be fair, Eric and Nicole, the reason their marriage fell apart was when Eric went to Africa and Nicole agreed to it. No, I mean, I get that. I get that, Jonathan. I'm just saying they're, I mean, my point is they'll do something stupid, right? They'll do something stupid to F up their relationship. They'll go to other people. They'll wreck them. They'll get bored and realize that they want to be back together. They did it with Rafe. She did it with Rafe. She's doing it with EJ. And honestly, to tell you the truth, Jonathan, I've been watching the show for 2 years. The fact that she did that not once but twice is like, bro, come on, seriously? Ron says, Albert, I haven't watched Rinse and Repeat for the week because it's nothing that gets me excited. Everyone is just boring in this stupid fashion show. Down was not good for me to look at. I know, I know. You got to sit there and see Hot Sheila. Got to sit there and see a visit from Hot Sheila. Ambassador saying, remember, reminder, you never know who may be viewing this channel live. Yes, very true. Very, very, very true. I thought about that. I thought about that too. Lionheart says, is Maxie gaslighting Sasha a bit? I don't see it. Amazing, gorgeous, queen. Janet is in the chat. How you doing tonight? Sexy little vixen. Yeah, B&B was good, Janet. It was. Okay, Spider Clay. No, B&B was actually good. But the thing is, Jen, I knew that Rich was going to let Eric win. I knew he was going to lie to him. I knew he was going to lie to him. That's right. Let's everyone say what's up to Janet. Ron says, I agree with you. Nicole can't even keep her legs. Okay. I wasn't going to go there, but that's an interesting way of looking at it. Jesus Christ, Ron. Let's keep this a family friendly show. Mel says, Albert, Eric didn't make it crystal clear that it was true when Melina asked. It's yes. Yeah. And that's what I have an issue with. That's what I have an issue with. He's like, yo, if the baby was mine, I would just sit there and be with Nicole. I'm like, why? Just because you're having a baby together doesn't mean that you need to be together. You with Sloan for a reason, right? Or you just with Sloan as because you're settling. Like, how does that make her feel? I feel like that's so messed up. I really do. I feel like that's so messed up. Because even Nicole was just saying, "Well, if the baby was Eric," I'm like, okay, but you say that you love EJ, so like, what are you talking about? LaShanta said, "For everyone saying Ridge was trying to push Eric out, I knew better." Well, actually, to be fair, LaShanta, he actually was trying to push him out. He really was trying to push him out in a lot of ways. You should go golf. You should go pickleball. You should be sitting there hanging out with your wife. Like, he's fine. He can work. I mean, he can't, but he doesn't know that. Okay. According, from Ridge's standpoint, he was able to work, and he wants to then constantly keep pushing him out the damn company. Don't make no sense. Doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Darby says, why would Brooke feel the need to go off on Donna and Kate when Donna is in love with Eric who's dying? Because she's Brooke Logan. I mean, I haven't watched the show that long, but she's Brooke Logan. Mel says Sloan is a second choice and a rebound to Eric, but Nicole will always be his first choice. Yeah, then he needs to sit there and respect Sloan and stop being with her then. That's what pisses me off. You know your first choice is somebody else, but you're just being with that person to be with that person. That ain't cool. Why she's going through those lengths. Exactly. LaShanta, to an extent, yes. To an extent, yes. She should just bowed out gracefully instead of hanging out with a bum, pretty much. Ron said, just bring Jerry back and he could. Oh my goodness, Ron, you and your Jerry. Ron loves his Jerry. A character that no one, that is hardly mentioned by anyone in this chat except for Ron. It's like you find a way to keep his spirit alive. Rachel said they need to have Taylor on B&B more. She is interesting and brings a breath of fresh air. Yeah, but they also need to bring in some new characters as well. Like Luna's a good start, and RG is too, which I'm glad. But I'm like, they need some fresh. Steffi's back, which makes no sense. I'm like, what was the point of you leaving? What was the point of you leaving just for you to come back? Rachel Bell doesn't like Taylor's character. Oh, Dory said those. Then Brooke needs to be slapped back to reality. Yeah, I guess they need to sit there and bring in Quinn or Stephanie. LaShanta said that's not true. Eric gave Ridge and Stephanie that position years ago. He didn't know he was sick. I get that. Here's the thing. I want to sit there and say pushing out in the sense of you're old, you need to retire. You're old, you need to retire. He wants to sit there. He wants to sit there and work with him. He wants to do a collection with him, right? He wants to do a collection with him. Or Reg is like, oh, I'm busy. I can't do it right now. I don't know. It's just I felt like there was a level of disrespect that was coming from him. Rachel says, but RJ's acting is oh, you not a fan of his acting? Joe says people saying Maxie was born on Halloween. Oh, apparently she forgot her birth. Or maybe they just rewrote it. Maybe they just rewrote it. You know how you tend to that, and that's actually very true. Jess actually has a point. If her birthday's on Halloween and she didn't even talk about it, Lobby says real life pregnancy messed it up. See, Lobby, yes, and this is where. So yeah, you're not a not a fan of his acting. I get it, but see, this is where it messes up the Lobby because I feel like they could have just had a temporary. They could have had a temporary Steffi come in there. They could have had the temporary Steffi come in there. They could have. I agree with that, LaShonda. They could. They could have had the temporary Steffi come in there, but they didn't. So Mel says, I don't like Holly being the airhead, being weird. Yeah, I don't like the Holly character in general. I don't. Yeah, Lobby, I didn't know that she was born on Halloween. But yeah, Mel, like I was saying before, whoever decided to put Holly on this show needs to be fired. I'm keep saying that. Ron says, I bet when Eric does retire, I don't want Riz to be in charge of Force of Creation because Brooke thinks that she's entitled to anything. Well, here's the thing. Regardless, she's always going to sit there and think that she's entitled in general. She's an entitled person in general. She's always going to think she's entitled. Doesn't really matter. Jenna says, I agree on a temp staff. Yeah, they could have just hired a temporary staff and just kept the story going. Because in all reality, it doesn't make any sense. She came back today talking about, oh yeah, I'm a fighter and I'm not going to let Cheryl run me out of town, this, that, and the third. I'm like, Steffi was always a fighter. You leaving town made no sense. I know that they had to deal with a pregnancy, but this is why they had temporary recast for her. Yes. Yeah, Laura B. They could have just did that, solved it. Story would have kept going. We would have got to mention some stuff. I don't know. I just don't know, people. But yeah, I would sit there. I would say Jerry, Ron, but only because Jerry isn't annoying and Holly is. I'm not just saying that Jerry's a good character or that he needs to be on the show, but if I was tied down to a chair and I had to sit there and pick between one or the other, I'm going to sit there and pick Jerry. No one can be our Steffi. Well, somebody need to be Steffi. Somebody need to be a temporary Steffi because this shit wasn't working. Because we didn't get anybody else to suffer. We didn't get another stuff. We had to sit there and deal with this storyline. Lakeisha, I agree. They could have did a temporary cast. Her leaving town made no sense. Yes, and I don't even watch the show. I haven't watched the show that long, and I know that it didn't make sense. This is what they decided to go with because this is what made sense to them. Well, as fun as this has been, I'm gonna sit there and in the live stream tonight because I gotta wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I do want to thank everyone for joining. This has been a lot of fun. I was thinking it will cake. We're gonna sit there and celebrate 105 members that we have now, and yeah, I'm still in shock. Still really in shock. Yes. So have a good night, Lakeisha, Lashanta. Have a good night, Lashanta. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Lakeisha. Have a good night, Laura B. Have a good night, Spiderquake. Have a good night, Blackmon. Have a good night, Darby. Have a good night, Jonathan. Have a good night, Cherry Ice Cream. Have a good night, Goddess Jess. Have a good night. Have a good night, Janet. Have a good night, Queen Janet. Join us next time for another edition of Soul Chopper Dobby Bostic. Yes. Have a good night, Ronnie Ron. Have a good night, Mel, my Hurricane. That is the plan. Have a good night, Janet, my Vixen. Have a good night, Ambassador Sam. Thank you for joining. Again, Ambassador Sam is the GOAT, literally the effing GOAT. So, have a good night, Miss Gee. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, Melly Mel. Have a good night, Andrea. Yeah, so I know I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I have to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, I would have been going for another half an hour. Have a good night, Blackmon. Have a good night, Mel, Andrea. Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Have a nice Spiderquake. I will see you on the next live stream. Laters.